Hello friends, this is Mokhtar from codingmoney.com, and in this video we're going to create a modal window in JavaScript. What's a modal window? Let me click on this button to show you. This is the modal window. Some people call it a pop-up, but it's a modal window. I'm sure you have seen this everywhere on the web. It's one of the common things that you can do, and it's very easy. I'm going to show you how to do it in this video. You can close it by clicking this X, or you can click anywhere on the screen. It will close, or you can press the escape key on your keyboard to close this. Okay, so let's get started. I encourage you to practice what you learn from this video, and whenever you get stuck you can refer to this GitHub repo. I'll have this link in the description of the video. Whenever you get stuck you can check the code. So I've gone ahead, created the HTML and CSS for you to save you time. So basically what I've done here is I have a button with the class of show modal, and I have the actual model over here with the class of hidden, and this is just going to hide the model by default when you open it. Let me show you. If I remove this class from this model and if I save it, and by the way I have this other div which is the overlay. Let me show you without that. So if I save that page, I haven't saved it. Okay, if I save it, and you see by default the modal window is showing, and as you can see, if I remove this hidden class from this other overlay, you will see the dark background behind this modal window. So that's the overlay. By default I have this hidden so that we can remove that hidden class when you click on that button to show that modal window, just like this. Okay, yep. So HTML and CSS, this is the styles for the model. So I have a absolute, position it absolute in the center, and I have a box shadow and a background color of white, and the padding, border radius, and z-index of 10. And this is the overlay, which is 100% width and height, and it's also positioned absolutely with the darker background with opacity of 0.6 to give that kind of a backdrop in a blur filter effect using the backdrop filter. So I'm gonna rewrite all this code and explain how it's done. We'll start off by telling JavaScript what to do with this button, and we can do that by getting access to this element in this HTML document. Let me show you what I mean. If you press Ctrl+Shift+J, you'll get access to the Chrome's JavaScript console. Here, if I type document and use query selector, I can target the class for the button, which is show modal, and if I enter, you see you get access to this button. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a variable and put this element like this. I'll create a variable, call it btn open model, and add that element, which is the button. Let me show you. This is the button, and it has a class of show modal, so that's how we get access to that element, and we are placing that into this variable called btn open model. I'll do this for the modal window itself and the overlay and the close button, and I can do that by pressing Alt Shift down arrow key 3 times, and I can change this modal, and the modal window has a class of modal, and to be sure this is a model, and the overlay has a class of overlay, so just gonna change this to overlay, and I'll have another button for closing the model, and that is close model, and that is close model, close dash model. Yes, that is fine. Now let me add a click event to the button, and to do that I'll get this, add event listener. I'm going to add a click event, and I'll pass a callback function like this, basically a function that it will call when the button is clicked. And so what I'm going to do here is get access to the model element, model, and I'm going to add the class, the hidden class from that model. And to do that, I type model.classlist.remove, and the class name for the hidden is hidden. So I'm going to remove that class from the model, and also I'm going to do the same thing for the overlay. Remember, there is an overlay which is hidden by default, and when you click the button, it also when the class is removed, you can see that. So let me save it and show you. Sorry, here's the button. If I click it, now the overlay behind the model window is showing, and you can see this model window. But if I press this, nothing happens because I don't have an event for the close button. So let's do that. Let me add an event to the close button. I'll add a event, click event to the close button. So here, what I will do is I'll add the class. So I'll add the hidden class. I'll do the same for the overlay, just like that. If I save it, let me show you. So click it, and now you see the hidden, there's no hidden class, and the moment I click on this X, you can see that the hidden classes are added. That's why you don't see it anymore. Okay, one more thing, because I said when you click outside the model window should close. So now when I'm clicking on the overlay, the model window is not disappearing. So let's fix that. So I'll add an event, a click event to the overlay, just like this. But before I do that, I want to refactor the code so that it's more organized. So what I will do is I'll copy this function. I'll cut the function actually, and then I'll create a variable, call it open modal, and paste the function over here. Now I can just copy the name of that function and pass it to the click handler for the button. I'll do the same thing for close. So it's more modular. I'll create another variable, call it close modal, and paste the function. And now I can just pass this function to this event handler. I can do the same thing now for the overlay. Just change the name, overlay, because you see I have created an element and it has the overlay element inside it, so I can just add that. So let me see, let me test that, let me save it, and then now when I click on anywhere outside the model window, it should close the model perfectly. Now the last thing is to also be able to close the model window by pressing the escape key. And so I'll add another event listener to the document, to the HTML document. And to do that, I select the document dot add event listener, and this time it's not on click, it's gonna be on key down. And so I'll have the function, and here you have access to the e argument, which gives you access to the key that is being pressed. Let me show you by doing console.log. If I have e.key, let me show you. So Control-Shift-J to get the console window. As you can see, I press Control-Shift-J, you can see that. So now I press here, select the escape, whatever key that you press down on your keyboard, you get access to that. But I'm interested in escape only, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to add a condition here. If e.key is equal to escape, then I want to run the close modal function. Easy as that. So let me save it and check it out. So I click this and I press escape. You can see that it's working. When I'm on the document, you see now you can close the window by clicking the X, clicking on the overlay, or clicking the escape key on your keyboard. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned something in this video. And if you like videos like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.